We'll come back to that. I'm very sorry to Bradley Law, but let's get into Lando race winner. Nigh on, well done. Nigh on the perfect weekend, that one. Brilliant.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's been a very good weekend from start to finish. Already in FP2, it felt good, got in a good rhythm, and just progressed from there. You know, kept my head down, kept to myself. So it's working at the minute. This weekend's probably been one of my best weekends that I've had this season. So been good, a good load of points. But that's it. That's it for now. It's a reset, and then it's focus on Brazil.
You were driving this whole weekend a little bit like we were seeing you last year when you were fighting Max. Is being the hunter, having to go back to the champion, knowing that Max is also in the fight, like giving you that little extra edge, little extra energy?
I mean, it's hard to know exactly what. It's just I feel better with the car today. Everything's about how I feel with the car. Last year I felt very good with the car. I could perform better. This year I've struggled to get to grips with it. It's been incredibly quick, but it's clearly still difficult to drive. And but when you get in that sweet spot, you can make it work. And it's still something that over the last few weekends I've struggled with, like even in Singapore. I mean, we had our debrief and we sat down for half an hour, and I'm like, guys, this is exactly the car I don't want. This is the reason why we can't win more races, why we're not going to win in the future, is if we keep having a car that doesn't give me what I need. This weekend I just had a little bit more what I need, and I can perform how I did this weekend. So it's simple as that.
Lando, you're leading the championship again now. I wonder how much satisfaction you take from the fact when there are a few people questioning what was going on and the mistakes prior to the summer break. You've come back and you've answered those critics, and you've chipped back at this lead week in, week out in the last few races. Do you take satisfaction from that? You've never doubted yourself?
Maybe at times at the beginning of the year, I certainly did. Because I'm not one that I never want to blame my car. You know, and certainly when the car was winning and Oscar was winning, the last thing I ever could do is use the excuse that my car's not good enough. But I wasn't getting up to grips and wasn't finding the way to make it work. And I'm finding a better way to make it work now. So it's as simple as that. Of course, it gives you good confidence. And in the last few weekends, like one race, really I don't care about. Like one race performing well, I don't think means anything. 2, 3, 4 in a row does. So I think the last few months have been good. Max has still caught me. You know, I've had one good weekend now, but Max has still caught over the last few months, and I still got to keep my head down. So.
Yeah, exactly. Concerning that battle for the championship, you got your teammate very close in points, but he's really not in a good moment right now. And then you got Max, and you know how Max is, how relentless he is, and he's coming back. The fact that you're also fighting your teammate and you have to be a little bit cleaner with your teammate, will that help Max? Does that put you a little bit on the back foot?
I don't think so. I mean, people can always say what they want and come up with their own opinions, and everyone has the right to do that. So I don't think so. I don't think it's hurt us at any point this season. People, of course, will say that it has. It hasn't. Of course, it's just a lot more questions. There's a lot more controversy that people like to create. We've still gained as a team this year because we have two guys that perform very well. It's why we won the Constructors already last weekend. And, you know, Red Bull's fighting for a world championship, but they don't have a second driver that can perform and back him up. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we do very well that I think we don't get praised for. So, no, I think we're performing well as a team. I think we'll continue to do that. I think we're performing how a championship team needs to perform.
Lando, just a final one. You know, I know you're a golfer. We talk about the Ryder Cup, momentum swings in that. It's the same in all sport, right? You've got the momentum now. How important is that so late in the season?
Well, you might say that, but I'm not a believer in momentum. In some ways, like I said, one great weekend really doesn't mean anything. 2, 3, 4 in a row means something. So
but you've had a few of those
that in a row now. So I like to continue that, but I'm fighting the best guys in the world who can turn it around at any time. So there's no point thinking, oh, I'm feeling amazing and the others aren't or whatever. I just focus on myself, focus on my own job, and that's all I can do.
Now we're coming to a few races that are very chaotic. You did really good in chaos today.
Yeah.
When you get to Brazil, it might rain, might not rain. Do you feel that you can have the edge in the wet as well?
Wait and see. You know, I've had some great performances in the rain in the past. I've had some, obviously, also some not so good ones. Time will tell. You know, it's always tricky. We know that some of the others perform very well. It's opportunities for others to capitalize on those conditions. So No point guessing and presuming anything. I go home, I rest, and I focus on next time out.
Thank you, Lando. Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
guys.
It was a tough weekend, but actually, are you pleased with how you turned up today and performed today? Has that taken some of the edge off it a little bit? There was a lot of fight out there. You were feisty on track.
There was a lot of fight out there, yes. Difficult to know, you know, I mean, I felt like the whole race I was right behind someone and just struggling with the dirty air, so that was pretty difficult, but I think for me the biggest thing is trying to learn the things I wanted to learn today. You know, I think yesterday it kind of became obvious that after the session that there was a few things that I needed to change pretty majorly in how I was driving. And today was about firstly trying to limit the damage, but also try and learn some things about that. So, you know, if I've made some progress with that, then I'll be happy. But yeah, obviously, when your teammate wins the race, finishing fifth, nothing that extravagant.
You haven't lost any faith in your ability, though, have you? You haven't lost any confidence in your driving ability?
No, I mean, I think I've just had to drive very differently the last couple of weekends, or
because of the car,
or I've not driven differently when I should have, and I think that's been a little bit kind of strange to get my head around, because you know, I've been driving exactly the same as I have all year. It's just that these last couple of weekends, the car or the tires or something has required quite a different way of driving, and I've just not really gone to that. So tried a few things with trying to change things up a bit today, and yeah, once we analyze if it's effective or not, that'll yeah, hopefully help see some progress.
Is that the same for both of you? Is that why Lando's found something? Because maybe it's something that he can drive around or not, or do you want the team to have a further look at it? Or
I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, the car's obviously not changed for a while now, so it's nothing to do with the car. I think, you know, potentially, or I think given how the pace is differentiated the last couple of races, clearly Lando's found it a bit easier to just dial into that, and I haven't. So yeah, plenty of analysis to try and get further on top of that, but you know, I think it's important to remember that for the other 19 races, the way I've been driving's been working pretty well. So it's more about adding some tools to the toolbox rather than you know, reinventing myself.
in the car at the end when Max was hunting you down?
I thought you were going to speak about the start. That was probably the most stressful part of the race, because I really thought that this would be the end of my race. But the last part of the race was also quite tricky. I knew that Max was on the preferred tire at that point, which is strange because normally the medium should last longer, but the soft was today much better, which is very strange. So yeah, I'm happy with everything we've done. Got a little bit lucky with the safety car. I'll take that.
Tell me about the start then, because a lot of drivers have described it as chaos. What was your view of it and how it was handled?
Chaos as well for me. I mean, obviously there was Lewis on the inside, which I don't think he expected that Max was on the outside of me. And so there was a little bit of contact, and then then I went on the dirty side of the track, no grip at all, and I couldn't really stay there as the angle with Lewis was just impossible to make the corner. So I had to go straight, and but it was quite stressful. I really thought the race will end not only for me but also for Lewis and for Max, but yeah, mostly for Lewis.
Are you happy with how your teammate moved at the start as well? You had any issues with
it's
it?
racing. I think Lewis wanted to try and take his shot. I would have done exactly the same if I was him. So I have it's completely normal.
To be so frustrating after qualifying, can we just get your take on the key moments of that race? 4 wide into turn 1, first of all, then that battle with Max and the penalty that followed after that. But what can you take from the weekend as a whole? Still some positives?
Yeah, I've got some points at least.
Thank you, Lewis.
Recovery drive today, and I know you said yesterday I'll need people to retire in front of me, but they didn't, and you still managed to get up on the podium today.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like it after the first stint, but I thought we just were struggling a lot for pace, but I think in hindsight, probably it was also the tires just not being great, because I think as soon as we went to the soft, we just seemed a bit more competitive. Not compared to Lando, but I think second fastest more or less. It's a bit difficult to know with Mercedes because I think they were always in traffic. So, but at least we did the perfect strategy. You know, medium, try and go long, and then optimize the final stint on the soft while everyone was on the medium struggling.
Is that going to be a key to you staying in this championship fight, that the team think a little bit differently, do you think, going forward?
I mean, it's fine to think different. The most important, of course, is still that we need to be faster. I mean, we had some really good races, but I think even in the races that we won, if you look at the tire management and stuff, I think McLaren is still very strong. And then, of course, in the weekend where they have
points there on the radio, you sounded like it was quite a frustrating afternoon.
Yeah, today easy points. Probably ended up if we ended up, smoothly, I would say P6, P7. So yeah.
So why didn't you get them? What happened?
Yeah, unfortunately, pit stop was there, probably around 12 seconds, more than that probably. But also, yeah, you just know that it's not just that. Like a couple of things that I flagged it, but couldn't able to, I would say, avoid it, or I don't know. Yeah, managed to save those things situation, which I can't say here. But yeah, very, very frustrating. To be honest, like it was pretty much out of my control. And I think what I can control, I think I maximize it. First in space was good. I mean, strategy was good in terms of tire allocations, I would say. You know, if you see Max, he ended up P3, and I was not far away in the first stint, so yeah, very frustrating.
Did you want to do something different on strategy? Do you feel that didn't help you today, or?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things, I would say, but I understand the situation. Probably, in hindsight, I'm able to help a little bit Max as well to score points today, so P3, but also I think we can also score points in both cars. It was possible. So yeah, I don't know what to say. It was literally out of my control today. So very shame.
Just finally from me, if the decision is made on the Red Bull seat and the B-Carb seats for next year after this race today, do you feel you've been given all the tools you needed by the team to show what you can do?
I maximized it until today. What I can control, like I said, today's race was, I think, one of the best pace I had, especially first stint. So yeah, that's positive, and let's see.
Some lovely moments there as well you're sharing with your family especially. Just tell us what it feels like.
Oh, it feels great. I'm really happy to, that's our joint best finish in the history of the team. We had a great race. Of course, I was lucky to be where I was before the first stop. But actually, we had the pace to stay there. I held off Max in the first stint, I held off the Mercs in the second, and I held off the McLaren in the third one. So I was under a lot of pressure. I spent, I think, more time looking in my rearview mirrors than in front. But that's sometimes how it has to be. And I'm really, really proud of the team because that really validates all the hard work we've been doing over the past few races.
You say lucky, but you made the most of the chaos. You did the move on Max into 7. Talk us through that because it looked pretty hairy at one point.
Yeah, I know when you race against someone like Max, he doesn't give you an inch, so you need to fight the same way back. And honestly, to go wheel to wheel with him is a very cool moment as well because I was watching him since I started watching F1 basically, and I think he's the best driver in F1. So although he did a better race than us, we had a cool fight.
Talk us through it.
So yeah, everyone kind of checked up here in 5, and I managed to get the switch back. But then there was a yellow flag, so I didn't want to do the move there. So then we were kind of doing a drag race here on the exit. I broke as late as I dare into 10.7, and it was really slippery out there, but managed to get round.
Well, you had a full-on weekend. Good qualifying, good pace, good start. That was really good racecraft as well against Max, and then you survived the pressure. Was that due to the car? Somehow the car was perfect for you this weekend, and you showed confidence. It's something you can carry on into the next races.
Honestly, we had a good quali car. We were in Q3, but that lap I did in Q3 felt amazing. When I crossed the line, from the expectation. Last week we were P9, the week before we were P9. I felt like relatively we were even better than that. I was thinking to be in 8th or 7th maybe, and we were 10th. We were almost a second off. So I think what we did this weekend has really been biased towards the race. We had great race pace even on Friday, and even if I managed to squeeze through into Q3, the race pace was clear, and we deserved that today.
Do you want to have a quick look at your dad celebrating? I mean, look, we see it quite often with your old man.
I think he's the craziest guy in the whole.
He gets into it. He does get into it.
He's one of the boys, one of the mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. Just quickly, do you feel comfortable?
Can I just say, but the mechanics did probably the 2 best pit stops we've done all year.
Yeah.
We don't have the newest equipment. We don't have the most cutting-edge technology like these top teams. So we have a disadvantage in pit stops, and especially that second stop. I mean, I was down before I even stopped. So they did a great job, and huge kudos to them.
Final one though, do you feel at home racing against the big boys? You must quite like that.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously my goal in life is to fight there week in, week out. I didn't expect to be, racing a McLaren or a Red Bull or a Merc, or even, fighting with a Ferrari in a way. This year, I expected that in future years, but to do it already this year is a very special feeling, and I think that motivates everyone to hopefully do that again in the near future.
Well done, Ollie. Go and celebrate.
Thanks.
I'm sure you will with his entourage. There he is. That's just
I heard you on the radio, and it sounds like it was a really frustrating afternoon for you. Do you think there's an opportunity been missed today?
Well, I was more frustrated in the race situation. I don't understand how 3 drivers can cut the first corner and just continue in the position they entered. It's like allowing you to risk everything, but you just have a get out of jail free card if you get it wrong. So, and then obviously Max and Lewis, when they came together, Lewis got the penalty, rightly so, but Max was off the track, came back on, wrong place, wrong time for me, and I lost 3 positions, and obviously I was pretty frustrated, but it all stemmed from lap 1.
Is there a lack of consistency then, do you think, in the stewarding decisions? Or does it need to be explained more to you guys?
It's ultimately down to the circuit. If there is this get out of jail free card, if that was gravel, no one would be there. We've seen it almost every year we've been here. I think it was Carlos last year, Charles the year before, Lewis 10 years ago. It's like a lawnmower racing. So I don't know, something needs to change there. Just, as I said, if you can just send it down the outside, you could either make it stick, or you just cut the grass and you return in the position you were in before. That's not really how it should be.
And then the decision from the team, I mean, I know you were saying, look, we can get a podium here if you can just let me pass Kimi, I've got more pace.
Yeah.
The team left it quite a few laps before they did do that. Was there more opportunity? Had they done it earlier? Would you have been safe from Piastri then, or what was available to you?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of pace in those laps and would have been able to attack Ollie, who had no DRS. Obviously, I was in the DRS train behind Kimi. I think we left it 10 laps. By that point, my tyres overheated, my brakes were overheating, the engine was overheating. So by that point, there was sort of no point in doing it. It was either do it straight away or don't do it at all. So in the end, we deserved to finish where we did. A bit frustrating.
Will you talk to the team about it?
I mean, as I said, it all stemmed from turn 1. Like, I shouldn't.
Chaos at the start of that race, and then as it panned out, changing strategies and all sorts, you seem to have handled it all and come through out the other side in the position you started in.
Yeah.
Are you pleased with how you performed in the end? Was that the most the car had, do you think?
Well, I think, today the result definitely is a bit frustrating. I think pace was quite good. It's just, it's always the same story, dirty air. It's difficult to follow, and also for the tires is difficult. Especially today that the asphalt was very warm and the grip was quite low. It was difficult for the tire to manage them in the best way as possible. So definitely, I think track position once again was playing a massive role, and yeah, I mean P6 at the end, and we'll focus on to Brazil.
You said yesterday there was maybe a couple of half-tenths or a little bit you could have found more yesterday in qualifying. What will you work on for Brazil to make sure you really nail qualifying and get that track position?
I think, it's my quality performance has been stronger and stronger. I think just haven't been able to put things together properly. In Austin I had really strong Q1 and Q2, but then Q3 kind of all fell apart. while here I had a big struggle in Q1. Q2 was a bit better, and Q3 I think was actually pretty good considering we had one set of new tire. And so I think, you know, it's trying to understand how to maximize every session, every run, because especially when the track is changing, because yesterday in Q1 I got caught by the wind and track being a bit hotter and just struggled to find my rhythm. So need to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also Mercedes was always today in a traffic. I think they were a little bit faster than this one that we have watched today from the Mercedes. But let's say I think it was good enough points for the Mercedes and for their car, because like they just couldn't manage Kimi and Russell to overtake, to catch actually Oli Beeman. They had a little bit chance, but they lost it, and at the end of the day, 6th and 7th position. I think it was a good result for the Mercedes with all of that chaos and everything that happened at the beginning of the race. Don't forget to like the video, to comment it, and to subscribe to the channel.